Now, the Liberal member for Boothby in South Australia, Nicolle Flint, as you know, is leaving politics at the next election. And on the way out, she's been making a real issue about the way Conservative women in particular are treated in our national politics. She's in Sydney tonight speaking at an event that's being hosted by the Menzies Research Centre. It's called the Gender Agenda. She'll be speaking along with our own Gemma Tognini at that event. She joins me now to preview the event. Good to speak to you, Nicolle. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Chris. How are you? Great to be with you.
Look, you've been very successful in drawing attention to some of these issues about the way women are treated in politics in recent weeks. Any cause to rethink your exit from politics, given how much of a platform you've found in the last couple of months?
No, absolutely not, Chris. And unfortunately, we still have a really long way to go. I'm determined to work very hard on implementing the changes we desperately need to see within federal parliament to keep all women safe, not just Liberal women, but women from across the political spectrum, staff, journalists, the people who work in the building, so we can send a really clear message to the wider community and lead by example to demonstrate what a safe workplace is. Unfortunately, it hasn't been my experience, as I think a lot of your viewers would know, and I'm determined to try and change that on the way out.
Yeah, good on you. Now, you're speaking at this event tonight at the Menzies Research Centre with Gemma Tognini. You'll discuss some of these issues. I've had a bit of I would say, a road to Damascus conversion in favour of quotas of late. You would admonish me. You would suggest that on the Liberal side of politics, you want to see more women in politics, but you are opposed outright to quotas. Why?
I am, Chris, and I'd just say, I'm one of your number one fans, but nobody's perfect, as you've just demonstrated. To be true to our Liberal Party principles, we need to make sure that we don't lose sight of the reasons why we've been one of the most successful parties and governments and coalition governments in the world. And one of the reasons is we believe in equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. And that's the simplest way for me to explain why I will always be opposed to quotas. There's a huge amount of work we still need to do within the Liberal Party that I've been talking about since 2015 with Nick Cater when we published our first gender and politics report for the Menzies Research Centre that showed that the Liberal Party needs targets. We need to set the targets, we need to stick to them, we need to vastly improve the number of young Liberal women that we're attracting to join the Liberal Party. We need to vastly improve the number of women we have in leadership roles, in voluntary leadership roles at the grassroots level. So I'm talking branch presidents, SEC, FEC presidents. And once we get those numbers right, I believe that we will see much better numbers of women putting their hand up for pre-selection, being successful in pre-selection because they've done the work, they've made the networks, they understand how the party works, and they will go on to be incredibly successful members of parliament.
Isn't a target, though, the same thing as a quota, except you're just not going to commit to making it? It's like the difference between good intentions and a promise?
Well, Chris, for a long time, like Nick Cater would tell you that we had probably about 12 months of debate where he brought me around to the point that I felt that I could actually accept targets because I am a true Liberal. I couldn't even cope with the concept of targets before that first report that we did. But it's like anything in life. If you don't have an aim to improve yourself, if you don't, whether that's, from a business perspective, for example, you want to increase your profits or you want to grow your business by the numbers of customers that you have, you would set a target. You wouldn't just say, oh, well, we want to do better. I mean, you might just say that, but it really helps to set a target because then you've got a defined goal. It's not, though, Chris, it's not quotas are more of a blunt instrument because they're compulsory. If you don't meet them, you can't not meet them. It's compulsory. So that's what socialists do, Chris. It's central control. It's authoritarian. It's saying you must do this. Targets allow for us still to find the very best person for the job because it's not always going to be a woman and it's not always going to be a man. So targets are far more nuanced whilst also holding a company or a party to account.
Now, despite everything you've been through, we're nearly out of time. So in 20 seconds or less, you would still argue. What's your pitch to women to get into politics? Why should they do it?
Because I'm working as hard as I possibly can to make it much, much better and safer for the next generation. And we need strong female voices. Chris, you know that. You're a good supporter of lots of amazing women like our good friend Gemma Tognini, who I'm going to be speaking with at the Menzies Research Centre event this evening.
Yeah, I think you're catching up with my wife tomorrow night too, so please put in a good word for me. Thank you very much.
I sure will, Chris.